Hey everyone, it's Joe and welcome to your video on gout. This is a continuation of Chapter 4 Skeletal System, and we're looking at the metabolic bone diseases that you'll find in your book. Now, I wanted to talk about gout because, one, I've heard of it and I've had to do patients with it, and maybe you have too, but maybe you weren't too sure what it is. And so that's what I hope to do with this video, is just educate you a little bit more on what to look for with gout. Now, gout stems from metabolism problems of purine, which leads to the increase of blood levels of uric acid. And this uric acid can turn into a crystallized form, and it ends up in your joints and cartilage and sometimes the kidney. Now, of all places that these crystals end up, it's usually the first digit of the foot. So in the big toe, people will often have tremendous pain, and it's usually from gout or these uric acid crystals that have formed in that first pip joint. So here is an example of what a foot might look like with gout, and there's a couple things to look for. The first thing you really want to look for is some type of inflammatory reaction. You want to see some swelling, and that's one of the earliest radiographic signs of joint effusion, is this swelling, and we can see that here in a couple spots. You can see it here on the first digit here, but you can also see some effusion and some swelling coming over here on the other side. So when you see that swelling, that's an indication. You almost see it's getting a little bit more radio opaque. You won't be able to see these uric acid crystals, but that is what's causing this swelling. So one of the first things to look for is that soft tissue swelling. Another thing to look for with someone with gout are these rat bite-like erosions. And let me point a couple out. Here's a really good one. This almost looks like just think of a rat taking a bite out of this guy's bone. So he's got one here, he's got one here. You can almost see one here, right there. You see one here. Okay, and these little erosions are caused by urate crystals that form within the margins of the joint itself. But those urate crystals or tophi will start to eat away at the bone, and it has this punched out, really well margined defect of the bone, and so they're called rat bite erosions, and they're pretty easy to see. So if you see that with this swelling, that is clear indication of gout. All right, now it should be mentioned that these tophi can spread to other parts of the body, and other common sites with regards to gout include the ear, the olecranon bursa that we see here in this picture here, and the insertion of the Achilles tendon. So we could see these tophi travel to many different areas within the body. It doesn't just happen to stay in the foot, but it can also be seen in the hands and other parts as well. But the more common areas, again, according to the book, are the ear, the olecranon bursa, and the insertion of the Achilles tendon, interestingly enough. But when we see a picture like this, it has me think that this person is most likely probably already been diagnosed with gout. We would hopefully or maybe have an image of his foot. And maybe we could see if there was signs of gout. We would look for the swelling, the radio opaqueness around the joint space, as well as those rat bite erosions out of the bone. And if that's the case, and now he's presenting an elbow like this for non-traumatic reasons, just pain and swelling for no reason, then you can probably have a safe bet that this is most likely gout related. So just something else to look for if you've got patients coming in for pain and swelling without any type of injury. All right, and last picture, and this is just showing you that it doesn't have to have that dramatic swelling effect, but this person does have a confirmed case of gout. But I don't maybe see a little bit of swelling. It'd be interesting to compare this foot with his left foot. It does get a little milky in here, but what I definitely see without hesitation is this punch out right there. That is definitely a rat bite there. So if the person says, I've got pain in my big toe, there's been no trauma, and I see that rat bite, I'm thinking that's uric acid or urate crystals punching its way out of that bone. So another case of gout. So I think with gout, you really have to be careful with what the history is and what the cause of the injury, if there was an injury. So you have to take all of that into consideration, but at least you have the basic idea of what gout is and what to look for. So that's it. I'm going to wrap up gout with that. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Otherwise, I'll see you guys at the next video.